Hey guys, welcome back to Reverse Engineered. This is John, and in today's episode we're gonna start working on the frame, and also we're gonna start working on the quarter panel, trying to pull it out as much as we can to replace it with a new one that will come in sometime soon. Stay tuned and see what's going on.
Trying to do more damage. This is an unconventional way to pull the quarter panel. We do have a frame machine, but this truck does not fit on it, so we're gonna use this tree to our advantage and pull the quarter panel out. Also, this quarter panel is made out of aluminum, and when it got impacted here on this side, it cracked here, because aluminum does not act like steel and it just cracked. Whatever, we'll replace that and change some other things. Also, on this wheel well, the metal right here, it crumbled a little bit, and these spot welds, they came undone on some other sides here. For example, it came undone here. It looks like a spot weld, but it's different. It's some kind of a rivet system, some kind of an engineered rivet system. And so we're gonna work on that and pull it out as much as we can, get it as straight as possible so the new quarter panel fits in just perfect. Also, most of the parts on this Ford F150 are made out of aluminum. Only the frame rails, that's the only part of the truck that's made out of steel. Even this aprons here, made out of aluminum. We're gonna try to pull this out as much as possible, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna crack right here. Every time you put aluminum under stress, it's just gonna crack. We're also gonna pull this front rail out. It has some kind of a nasty kink over here, but that's nothing we cannot fix, so we'll take care of that in this video. This is the driver's side apron. It did not move too much when it was impacted in the accident, but it just cracked here. It does not hold very well to stress aluminum. We're trying to put this strap around the tree. To pull this quarter panel out as much as possible. Let's get to work. I was just pretending. Before we can continue pulling on the quarter panel, we have to remove this molding from here. So I'm gonna take this cap off, see what's under it. We have to probably make a hole here and pull from the center of it, because if you pull from here, it's gonna go like that, and this part's not gonna want to come out. So we're just gonna make a hole here, bring the other thing, and pull it from the center of the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, still waiting on that screwdriver.
Let's get going.
Give me one and give Daniel the other one. Daniel, let's start from here, from the back end, work it out. Just pry this up a little, and you're gonna see the clip under it, Daniel. It's a little bit stubborn, doesn't want to come out just yet. You can even damage that.
Does it have some
surface,
clips, or what does it have on there? It's like,
Yeah, it's elastic.
Oops.
brackets or something.
Move your fingers.
I think my side came back in.
There it is. Is there one way in?
Most likely. They're really flimsy, the clips that it has underneath.
I see.
Most of them
These
just broke
rear
out.
ones, they're the flimsy ones. These ones are okay.
The one in the middle is fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how to do it. Well, actually, it's easy to explain it when you know how to do it, right? Is that the last one?
Might be one more in there.
Yeah, pull up just a little. So when it can come out. Okay, it came out.
There's one more.
I don't think I have access on the last one.
And it's out.
Here, Sam. As we try to take this out, some of these clips, they broke on one side. These bigger ones, they did not break, but the smaller ones, they
Did
did.
all of them break? From like
Most
right
of them
side?
They did. They were probably broken, I'm not sure. But most of them broke on one side. All of them except two of them, maybe.
Alright, so whenever you want to cut aluminum, make sure you wear your safety precautions, like a safety mask, safety breathing mask, and safety goggles. Because whenever you cut aluminum, the small particles, once they get into your blood, they can never get them out, and they're also linked to Alzheimer's. So make sure you do wear these things.
Make sure you follow instructions from John. Alright, so we made a hole. We made it for this J-hook to fit in. Check and see if it fits. We're in business. Alright, put it all the way in. That should go, huh? No? Just...
We'll force it in there.
Yeah, force it in. See how that crack right there? That's the worst part about working with aluminum. It does not have a memory like steel. Whenever you try to force it, you put it under stress, it cracks. Here, then you see how it cracked right there?
Let's see how it looks behind the quarter panel. Looks like it has some dents too on this side. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's nothing. It's really insignificant. Alright, let's pull this out. We might need to pull this side just a little bit more out, but we don't have access from behind, so we might make another incision and pull it out with a J-hook. Here's an update on how it looks after we pull the quarter panel just as much as we could.
Takes about 3 guys to train out a quarter panel.
Yeah, bro.
How it goes. You gotta keep rolling.
Creep under the vehicle.
Keep on creeping. So we found out that there's more damage here, like to this frame. structural frame, like this thing here, and there, over there, also that thing. Whoops, that's what fell in my face. It's all good. You can see the hook there, this thing, and we made the gap a little bigger, which is what we wanted. Like over there, there's also more gap, more damage, all the way back there.
Brotherhood right here. Okay, we have just finished pulling this quarter panel out as much as possible. We removed the kink that was here and we got it as straight as possible. So in the next video we're going to remove the bed and remove this quarter panel and replace it with the Ford Raptor style quarter panel. So stay tuned for that. Now we are going to move and get to work on the front rails, on that front rail and on the fender rail support. So let's get to work.
Up on the real thing, we're trying to pull back the fender frame rail.
Before we're gonna start pulling any more on this fender rail, we're gonna have to heat it up to soften up the metal just a little bit and remove these plastics here so we don't melt them.
There's no screw on this thing. It's interesting how they engineered the wiper. Whenever you take it off, all you have to do is pull on this thing.
It's like a little lever.
Yes, you pull it out and it slides right up. And that's it.
We have just finished removing all the surrounding plastics from here. Now let's get to heating. You can see here where the bushing is, where this mounts, where the big screw goes all the way through, where it was and where it is now when we pulled it.
There's like a 2-inch away.
Yeah, you can see on this side too. The hole is over here. The bushing used to be lined up with the bushing all the way down. On this side, this frame rail for the fender used to be like coming out this way now. Now it lines up a little bit more with that pillar. Same on that side, it lines up. You can see they're both kind of the same, straight. You're gonna have to measure out with the tools and tape measure it to make sure it is how it should be. Also, this windshield wiper motor assembly, from the impact, this bracket here broke, so we're gonna have to replace it with a new one. And it also snapped right here from its position. It has a rubber bushing to dampen it, for dampening purposes.
Right there.
Sliding puller. Pull just a little bit here. Let's see if we can pull this out just a little bit more. This side here, the bent part.
Right Right now we're taking measurements to see if the symmetry is there. So far, it looks like we're not that far off. We'll have to pull this a little more this way and see where that lands. We're gonna use a grinder to cut these off so we can have better access to those spot welds inside.
Like this, maybe like one of these.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, first one's out.
Alright, so this was a pretty tough rail to remove. We had here quite a few spot welds to cut out. These are some kind of a rivet system, really nicely engineered. And we cut it with this spot weld remover. And as you can see, it worn out pretty good. The teeth on this thing worn out.
Right now we're gonna take this radiator lower support off because we don't have much access to this frame rail here. All I have to do is get these screws out of here, the bolts off, and also get that spot weld out.
We also have some bolts in the back, which are like 4 of them right here. Remove those two right here, and these 2 spot welds, and it will easily come out. Let's get to it.
This radiator lower support, and it looks pretty good. It's in pretty good shape, and we're going to reuse this. It's pretty straight, and that's pretty good. Although it's a little bit bent here on this side.
Can be easily fixed.
And bent here, but that's nothing. It's nothing major. We're gonna pull that out and we're gonna use it. Now, since we removed that lower radiator support, we have better access to the frame rail. Come closer so you can see how the damage is here. It has a pretty good sized ding here on that side. And the way we're going to remove this is we're gonna hit it up and pull it from here.
We're also gonna remove this from the way.
Yes, we also have to remove this because when we're gonna heat this up, the way heat works, it's gonna conduct throughout the metal, and we don't want any of these hoses or wiring to melt off. And so we're gonna remove all of them up. We're gonna take them all off from the way. We are also removing the throttle body pipe as it's in the way of the frame rail, so we cannot work on it without removing it. Oh, there it goes, it's off. That was really simple. Okay, this is the rig we came up with. We got a chain around the frame rail on the front because it's better than one of these straps. We got a chain around the tree, and this big block of wood to hold on as a counter force, because if we just pulled the frame without one of these, the whole truck just moves towards where we're pulling. Now that this is here, the frame rail is gonna move towards where we pull, just from this part where the counter force is holding it from. Let's get pulling.
All right.
Get up a little bit so the stress can be released easier. We can use acetylene, or we can use one of these, but it takes a little longer with these.
finished straightening out this frame rail as much as possible, and we're gonna cut it out along this weld line, and we are going to replace it with a new one. With this one. Brand new one. Take a picture, it's gonna last longer. Alright, so here's the bent piece. We're also gonna place the bolts back so we know where they came out of. Okay, let's move to the next piece now.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to bend that one down like that.
90-degree bend, that's kind of, I don't know, I've never
Look
seen
at the
that.
metal, it's pretty thick. I don't know what the gauge is, but it's a 1/8 thick for sure.
They must have hit something pretty good to bend that.
Taking the rail off, but as you can see, there's still damage to it. We'll still have to heat it up and then hit it with a hammer so that it straightens up pretty much, so we can fit this one in. You can see how square this one is compared to this one, and same as that one. Okay.
This one is toast.
Alright everyone, we are going to be ending today's video here. We've gotten pretty far on this build. We've finished removing the fender rail, the front rail. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment down below. Also follow us on Instagram at ReverseEngineered1. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for what's next.